What's going on, guys? Matt over here with Lethal Garage, and today is a car update. Power numbers, all sorts of stuff. But this video has taken format completely different than what I had initially anticipated. The original video was going down to Cunningham, car going on the dyno, getting tuned with all the parts and pieces. And all that happened. I did record that. That all happened. But the problem was we ran into some issues. So let me set the stage a little bit, fast forward, let you know where we're at in the build, the problems that we had, and the current power that she's sitting at now, and what we're doing to address the problems, or what problems we already addressed. Now, rewind, wrong way, to CamaroCon. So CamaroCon 2018, end of April. Car was going through all sorts of stuff. I made the brilliant decision to swap out the supercharger, put a Whipple on, repaint the front of the car, all sorts of other stuff, and ran into a couple issues. One, Lingenfelder Performance, the DI pump I got from them, it was back ordered forever and a day, took forever to get it. I did have their original version 1 DI pump. The problem with that specific pump is it wouldn't work or coincide with the cam fuel low, so I couldn't actually get more fuel on the upper side. And the other problem was, when I first spec'd out to build this car, I was never really aiming to go over 650, 700 horsepower. I just wasn't. So when I got my exhaust, when I got everything, it was all spec'd around being in that power range, 650, 700 range. Then fast forward to right now, and we're going for 800 plus. And we're starting to run into some issues from my earlier decisions. One of the biggest ones was cooling, vehicle cooling. Now, I am demanding upwards of double the amount of horsepower from this motor, and I'm still running mostly stock cooling. And that being stated, that's kind of a problem per se, especially when you really run the car and want it to perform. Now, to the issues that we ran into. So now we can fast forward from CamaroCon. I got the proper DI pump. If you guys didn't see the DI pump install video, upper right hand corner, installed a new cam, did that. That video just went live. If you haven't seen it, also upper right hand corner. And a few other things. We installed a 9.1 inch pulley down on the bottom. On the lower, the upper went back to a 3.5 from a 3.25. And from the previous install, when the Whipple went on, we did the fuel injector connection injectors. What else did I do? My mind's going blank. Outside of the Whipple, yeah, just really the injectors, because we already had the fuel system and everything. So I had the LT4 high side, but I have the Lingenfelder version 1 pump. The reason why I had to get rid of the version 1 and went with the version 2 was because the version 2 actually works alongside the cam now. The version 1 didn't. So that was a shortfall on that original design. But now it works, and with the new cam I have in the car, it's got the maximum fuel load you can get, so now I can properly fuel the car, keep those rails pressured, and get all sorts of power, right? Well, that was what we thought. Then we run into the heating problems. So I bring my car down to Cunningham Motorsports after we get the DI pump, once we get the cam in, had the new belt, had the new 9.1 lower, brought my 3.5 because we dropped from we went back up to the 3.5 from the 3.25, and put her on the dyno, got her all dialed in, and we started noticing some really high heat issues in the IAT department. So IATs were going through the roof, car was pulling timing on the high side, and the car was literally only getting like 780, 790 horsepower to the wheels, and we're like, what the heck? The other side of it is, when I built my exhaust, we did the install, not Cunningham. So Cunningham had no idea all the parts and pieces that I had basically built for the stainless works setup. And if you guys know, the stainless works setup X-pipe section is about yay long. I don't know if you can see my hands, but it's pretty long, and it's got a built-in insert that are like resonators of sort, and they spiral. And it basically takes that 3-inch exhaust and makes it a 2.5-inch exhaust, creating a restriction of a sort, but also dampening the sound and all of that. And little did we know that restriction was causing a little bit more back pressure, or not letting the exhaust fumes escape as fast as they should, and that was causing a bottleneck in horsepower. We basically uncorked the car. We just opened so if you guys also remember, I put the cutouts on my car. We literally we took the cutouts off, but there was metal plates in the way. We unbolted those, ran the car, instantly gained 14 wheel horsepower from that. So we're like, wow, there was a restriction in the exhaust. So I reached out to Stainless Works. They offer that X-Pipe without the riffles in it. It is an off-road system, but that being stated, I have it in the garage. We haven't put it on just yet, but it's going on. Same with new mid pipes that are going to delete the pipes where the cutouts were. So I'm just getting rid of those altogether. So all that being stated, we have the heat issue. We realized we had an exhaust issue, which is unfortunate. And at the end of the day, we were able to push the car. Well, actually, here's a video of the dyno pole. With that result, we were able to get 800 wheel horsepower, and torque is still down a little bit. There's still a few things down about a bit, but even in this 800 horsepower run, the car was still pulling timing on the high side because the temps were just getting too hot. So it comes down to the heat problem. Now, again, I'm demanding 2 times the amount of horsepower basically than stock, and I'm running all stock cooling. That's kind of a problem, right? At the end of the day, yeah, that's a problem. But that being stated, there's quite a few different areas you can go down. Now, as you know, the Whipple comes with a pretty small water tank. A lot of guys will upgrade the water tank, put one in the trunk, be able to ice box it, all that kind of stuff, and get just more volume, so that way it stays cooler and it takes the car longer to heat up that water. Now, the other side is, you know, there's other options, but I've gone down the road of kind of what Guitarmageddon did with his 5th gen drag car. I'm doing an interchiller. So I reached out to the same company that Nick worked with, and I'm going to have all the details around that kit here pretty soon. But I am putting an interchiller on the car because the temps and all the functionality of it just far exceed anything else on the market. It's reliable, it's consistent, and I think it's going to be the better option to go. We'll see how much weight it adds. I don't know if it's going to add a ton of weight. I don't know how it's going to affect the current. I just don't know how all the details of it installing. I mean, I get how it works, but from what I've seen everyone else running with them, they're getting really good IATs, really good temps, and they're not having any problems. So interchiller's coming, and we'll get the numbers hopefully we want. The goal is being, you know, 840, 850 range, which I think we can get with the proper cooling and you know, just getting it set up right. Also just dealing with the exhaust issue as well. So, and it's not necessarily an issue, it's just getting rid of that restriction, running full 3-inch on the whole system. And there's a car riding my butt. It's 45 miles an hour here. I'm going 70, and this car is riding my booty. Yeah, no, I'm gonna slow down, not get a ticket. That being stated, that's where the car's at currently. It's been an interesting road for sure. A lot of learning experiences. I know there's a lot of people that have gone different routes or running different systems that are making more power. But the big thing is they're doing one of a whole bunch of things to eliminate it. You know, a lot of them have done aftermarket cooling, or a lot of them are running meth and nitrous, which obviously runs a lot cooler and deals with IATs pretty instantly. I've kind of refused to go with nitrous. I've also refused to go with methanol. I'm still running E85. I still have a fully loaded pig of a car, which is fine because my goal is to get into the 9-second range with a car that's completely stock. As you guys know, I drive a 2SS, and we're basically there. The last time we went to Verona and I had my actually drag racing tunes on the car, Ryan was there dialing her in, we were were running times that would have equated to 9-second runs. Unfortunately, it was only 8-mile track, so we need to get out to quarter mile and actually prove out that the car was running those times. Fast forward to Camaro Fest, which was just after that, I had a street tune on the car, and I was only running 10.3s and 100+ degree weather with 100% humidity with like 3,800, 4,000 DA. It was not the best of conditions, and the car didn't have the same tune it had at Verona, unfortunately, but it was still fun. I had a good time. So I'm looking forward to finally getting the car out, doing some runs. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it with the way the car's sitting right now, and then that way when the interchiller does show up, we can install that, get it retuned, and really see the benefits of that. I think the best thing of that is the IATs will be consistent, and I'll also just be able to run the car a lot because the temps will stay consistent. Nothing's going to be too hot. The only thing that you really need to watch is oil temps, because those aren't really cooling down because of the interchiller. It's more the IATs and the heat soak from the supercharger and the block, etc., kind of go away in a sense as long as that's running properly. So we'll see. Lots to do, lots to learn. It's been a really fun experience. Things have kind of slowed down. It's to a point where I'm saving pennies to get things done, so apologies that these updates aren't happening as quick as they can. You know, real life comes into play. Got to pay the bills, got to take care of family. As much as I want to play with the race car as much as I can, I'm in that era now where everything's $2,000+, and that's expensive. I don't know about you guys, but I don't freely have $2,000 every other week to go spend on stuff. It may seem like I spent a lot of money on this car, which I have, but it was over a 2-year time period. So yeah, it is what it is. So either or, guys, thanks for checking out this video. I do appreciate you guys following along. Here's more footage of the car on the dyno and at the shop at Cunningham Motorsports as the car was getting ready. I got a lot more videos. Obviously, I'll shoot a video of the parts and pieces that we're removing and show you the difference between them from the exhaust. Huge shout out to Stainless Works for getting me that setup to swap it out. Also, huge shout out to Interchiller. All the details down below on these companies. Waiting for that kit to arrive. It's coming all the way from Australia, so hopefully it doesn't get caught in customs and stuff like that. We'll see. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna go straight. But yeah, it is what it is. So that's all I got. I'm hoping there's not a lot of cops up here. I'd like to do some driving with the car. The car feels really good. The tune's dialed in really nicely. She shifts nice. And when I get on her, I'm on my street tires right now, so it's kind of hard making 800 wheel horsepower. She just wants to spin on street tires. It's just how it is. So I'll have a video of me cruising around and just being frustrated I can't put the power down right this moment because I don't have drag radials, at least from a dig. If I'm at speed, it will hook and go. So yeah, that's it. Either way, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Likes, comments, shares, appreciate it. That subscribe if you guys are interested in following for more stuff around the car, the channel, the truck, everything. Yeah, that's all I got. Until next time.